Hey there, Plandast here, and we are doing yet another Payday 3 Stealth Beta video. Um, Pretty sure I'm uploading this one and the other one at the same time, so if you saw the other one, this is the masked version, where, unlike the other one, we're going to be using an exploit to get through. This time we're doing it full, we're doing it properly. So, yeah. Now, I don't know if you may or may not have noticed in the title, there's a quote-unquote in the title. I'll explain that when we get through there. But I'm going to be focusing on a lot more on what we have to actually do during the heist this time. So immediately, when you come to the heist, you want to look out for the power box, whether it's behind the teller. Usually it's behind the tellers for me, so I just immediately sneak in and just hack it behind their back. Now I'm using a skill that lets me immediately lockpick doors if I have rush, just one pick and they're done. Very helpful. Makes a lot of lockpicking doors just, possible before being detected. So that's a really helpful skill. There's a lot of helpful skills in Payday 3 that I like. Like, it feels like a lot of them have, like, sort of immediate feedback. Where in Payday 2 it felt like, you were getting upgrades, sure, you were getting stronger, but it didn't, didn't feel like you were. Yeah, Payday 3 has a thing here where you can pick up key cards from the backs of guards. So that's what we do. I'll admit, I have to explain all this really quickly because the front half of the heist is really heavy. There's a lot of stuff you have to do right at the start. So, yeah. I also had to hack a phone there to get the QR code, and that's how we get up to the second floor. I'm really kept trying to get. I'll explain this all in a minute, alright? Just give me a second. Just let me try to speedrun this. You will notice that the frame rate is struggling. this was the attempt that I managed to get, but the frame rate we're not good during this recording, but it'll have to do. So this is not what I would have wanted. This is not the preferable way of things happening right here, of getting caught by this guard right here and having to lead me all the way out. But before we go, I'm just going to quickly open up the security room with the key card. Okay, I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. Guess I failed to do so. And that guard has the other key card, the one that we actually need. Right, yeah, no, I picked this key card up before we left. That's what we did. Yeah, no. This isn't like the first time I'm doing this heist. Like, I've restarted it, which means if you saw the other one, you understand how the randomized thing works. I do know where everything is. I'm just not going to be using it to exploit it. I'm going to do all the tasks, even though I don't need to, because I know the code. But, yeah. Just going to use the trick. I don't think it works. Recorded this a while ago. Okay, yeah, it did not work. But yeah, no, the preferable way I would have wanted the upstairs area to go is pick up the blue key card from the downstairs guard, get up to the top, get the red key card from the top guard, and then sneak into the security room, and then get found by the camera guy. Because if you didn't see the other one, there's a glitch that you can use in the beta, where if you're, like, found by the camera guy, he'll just lead you out of the bank, and then go back. But even though he goes back to his camera room, the cameras are disabled as if you killed him. So that's why I would have wanted that to go, just so we could disable the cameras, but it's alright, we can just go back up. It's all good. Now, another thing, that guy that just let us out, the one with the hat, that's the lead guard. We can't do anything to him, because the lead guard has infinite pagers. So if you knock him out, or kill him, or whatever, he'll just keep getting pagers until you eventually go loud. So if you get caught by him early on in the heist, it's basically game over. There's nothing you can do. Restart. I'm not a big fan of the lead guard system. Like, it feels a bit too punishing. Like, it makes you feel hopeless. I'm not a big fan of it, but, Right, yeah, I remember what happens here. He comes in, boink, put a micro camera in his armpit. Oh god, the frame rate. Oh god. But yeah, the micro camera system is very helppul, because you basically get to monitor anything that you want to, and you can even put it on people. Just gonna, here's what I was gonna do earlier. Use the key card, let the camera guy spot you, and I was gonna lead us out, and even though he's not dead, the camera's disabled. And I just quickly access his computer just for the fun of it, just to really assert dominance over it. But yeah, I like to put the micro camera on the lead guard, because the lead guard is such a, like, deadly, obstacle and stealth. I like to always know where he is, just so he can be most safe, because they put him in the most annoying spot. They put the lead guard they made him patrol the staircase where you're going to be going between the most, and that's super mean. So if we can have a micro camera on him, you can always check where he is, because you know, if we want to go down to the first floor and we're on the second floor, if we run down the first floor without knowing he's there, that's basically game over. So we can use the micro camera to check that he's on the roof. Right there, we just use the door trick again, where you just, right as they stop, you know, leading you out, just immediately close the door on them and run back in before they can detect you. It's very fun to do. But can't do anything about it because this guard's right here. Just wait for him. Oh. Getting some weird glitches there. Yeah, the beta had some, like, really poor optimization. Like, it's still playable, but it just does not look good to look at. It's not good to watch. It felt good to play, but it did not feel good to watch. Well, it does feel good to watch because I'm watching it currently. Yeah, so next we use the red key card and we come in here. And now we just hack this. And because we hacked the power box earlier, we're going to immediately get the entrance thing to the bank vault. Thing about secure areas is I'm so used to Payday 2 that I just run and sprint everywhere, and I forget that you can't sprint in secure areas because if someone hears you, they'll go investigate, and that can be kind of bad. So yeah, a lot of getting used to that I have to, you know, I have to really adjust to Payday 3 stealth. I'm not good at Payday 3 stealth. Let me get that out there. I didn't fully get used to it during my time with the beta, so I'm not saying that's necessarily bad. Like, just because in Payday 2 I had a lot more control over the stealth. Like, I was way better at Payday 2 stealth. Felt like I really understood what I could and couldn't do. Like, there was a lot more control with Payday 2 stealth, where in Payday 3 it feels like I have less control. Not a bad thing though. Because the Payday 3 stealth is more fun, and I'd much rather have more fun than more control. You know, play games for fun, not for like, not for competitiveness, not for skill. You know, fun. Well, play for skill, but like fun comes first. That's how I do it. Now, right here, this is the worst part. So this is the part that we would have skipped in the no mask version, getting the executive. So what you're meant to do is you're meant to get the executive and take him to the vault in order to get the code. To, like, you need to get him to do the eye scanner, which sends a code to his computer. That's how you get the code. Obviously, skip that all in the maskless version because you know the code. But since we're going for a proper stealth here, we're going to do it all. Now, I was going into the stealth blind. Like, I wasn't using other people, not blind, but like I wasn't using other people's guides. Like, I wanted to play through the Payday 3 beta without using other people's stuff. I wanted to discover things for myself. And during my time, I only discovered one good method for getting the executive. This method that I'm using in this playthrough right here was the only method that I was able to do and find that worked. But problem with it, you really have to wait, because this guy just basically we're waiting for him to leave this room and chill in an outside area. But my god, he can either work with you or not with you. Sometimes he'll go exactly where you need to go, like he needs to go instantly, but sometimes he'll take 20 minutes just chilling in here, drinking water, pulling notepads out of his asshole. Man, this room right here is gonna be terrible in a bit. It's gonna get so bad. Yeah, here I'm just messing around with the guard, just out of boredom, waiting for this executive. I'm sure there's other ways that you could do this, but as I said, this is the one way that I found personally, and I'm not using any other people's guides. But no, I've said this in the other video, but the camera system is so good. It really lets you monitor the area properly, which I feel like is important for Payday 3 stealth because of how different it is to Payday 2, where you really have to monitor everything around you in the stealth. So it's a really good addition. I know I've said a lot of like issues that I've had with the beta, but I don't want that to overshadow just how much fun I've had with this beta. Like, this this beta has been so much fun. I really love how Payday 3 feels, and I'm so hyped for the full release. Like, I've pre-ordered the Gold Edition, and the early access starts in 2 days as of recording this. So yeah, I'm gonna be playing this all the damn time. It's all I've been talking about. It's all I've been talking. I've just been talking about this game for months. You know, I'm sure people are sick of me because that's all I talk about. I'm so hyped for this game. So hyped. And I'm really glad I got to play this beta. It'll be nice seeing how much difference has come between this beta and the full release, because there's like a good 5 to 6 months of development between this build and the current version. Like, it's gonna have issues at launch. There's no getting around that. But Starbreeze is a company I trust. It's one of the few companies I trust nowadays. It's like the companies I trust with games is like Starbreeze and RGG Studios. Those are like the only two that come to mind of studios that I completely trust. So, you know. Like, I've already seen on Twitter, they've already, like, changed some things because of fan backlash. Like, they're removing Denuvo, and they're looking into ways to add pausing in solo games. Who knows, maybe they'll eventually get around to doing offline only. Well, not offline only, but, like, they'll remove online only. But yeah. Now, right here, see what I mean? This guy, this executive, is the most annoying bastard. As soon as I'm spotted by a guard and have to be let out, this is when he chooses to leave. The one time where I'm not able to get him is when he goes out where I need him to be. I hate this executive. He's a troll. He's actually a troll. You saw me, like, yeah. I got so annoyed by him that I just said screw it and just killed that guard. I'm not too bothered by the fact that I had to kill this guard. Well, I didn't have to kill him, but I'm not too bothered that I killed this guard, because killing this guard does make this next bit easier, so it wasn't completely annoying. Yeah, no, the safest place I found to put all these bodies is in this elevator here. And you better get used to this elevator, or not this elevator, sorry. I misremembered that. I didn't put him in the elevator, I put him in that security room there, that computer room. Like I said, it's been a while since I recorded this. Get ready to see that security room a lot, because we're going to be moving a lot of bodies there. But yeah, who knows if there's enough backlash. Maybe they'll remove the online only thing. I was never too bothered personally by the online only thing. I have my own reasonings for not being too bothered by it. And like, sure, it would be better if there was an option for offline, but I'm not too bothered by the fact that it's online only. Yeah, so we finally have the executive, and now I have to move on here. Now, I've tried so many times to do this area without killing people, but it is just, it's too difficult, you know. There's a lot of random elements to it. There's a lot of randomness that just I'd rather not deal with, so I'm just going to kill them all and then move them. I've managed to do the hack here one time without civilians seeing me, but most of the time they're going to see you. And sure, I can move these guys without killing them, but it's slower to move them alive, because you move slowly when you grab onto them. Like, the hostage moving feels great, but you're so slow when doing it, and you have a very small window to move these guys out, because up above in the ceiling is a, what do you call it? Oh god, I can't remember what it's called. It's not sky roof, it's, whatever, I can't remember. There's a window on the ceiling, alright? And you have a small window when you can move those guys out of the room, otherwise a guard up there will see the bodies or see the hostages. So it's better just kill them, because you have faster moving speed if you move a dead body. So you're going to move them all out here. Now usually it wouldn't be safe to put these guys here because of the guard, but because we killed that guard earlier, he's not roaming around, which means no one's here to see these bodies. So yeah. Really have to move these people as quickly as possible. Now, like I said, I've managed to hack the computer one time without being seen by a civilian. Because of how Payday 3's detection works, where they only see you if you're in your direct line of sight, you can sort of sneak behind their backs and get a hack if you get a lucky spot, but it's very iffy. It's very iffy. yeah, these bodies should be safe here. Like, no one should see them here. But I've been trying at this for so long that I'm not going to risk it. So I'm going to move all these bodies into this security room. All of them. Just to be safe. And as you can see, I'm constantly checking my micro camera for the lead guard, just to make sure he's not in this hallway where he'll see me. Okay, you definitely could do this without killing all of them, but yeah, it's you know, it's hard to do solo. So this is what I'm just gonna do. It's not like money's much of a worry in the beta. I'm not too worried about money in the beta. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like there could be a couple tweaks to this heist to better, like, suit it for solo play. Because this part especially feels so, like, it feels so stupidly impossible for solo to do it well. Like, you definitely can, but it's just, it feels very, it feels like a small chance of getting things to go well. But yeah, when one guard sees him down here, it feels like a chain reaction happens, and because of the lead guard being on the stairs, even if only one guard comes to see the bodies, usually the lead guard follows right behind them, and as I said earlier, if the lead guard starts using his pager, it's game over. Nothing you can do. So yeah. Right, with all those bodies moved now, our only task left is to move the executive, and after a quick check to see that the lead guard is on the roof, we're going to take that opportunity to move the executive down. Yeah, as all the civilians in that room are dead, we don't have to worry about getting past the window. I did find, like, a consistent method to move the executive past the window with all the civilians alive. You just go halfway through the window, drop him, go to the other side, pick him up again, but, you know, that was before I gave up on trying to save the civilians. It does feel like sometimes the civilians are the more annoying part. I feel like the civilians are more annoying than the guards. Right, and because the lead guard does come downstairs, I'm going to quickly move this executive into the bathroom area, just so the guard doesn't happen to come downstairs while I'm doing my thing down here, because I am going to take this guard out. Just so we can quickly, more easily move these bags out, we're just going to take this guy out. Just going to take him down right here. I love this takedown, by the way. I love how the takedown works. Yep. Will say, I don't know if it's an intentional thing or if it's just a problem with the beta. I don't like how the voice lines for the pagers work, where you say the voice line after you answer the pager. It feels like you're doing something wrong when you're answering the pager, even though you're not. I don't know. It should be at the same time like it was in Payday 2. Have them talking while you're answering the pager. Right, so yep, after a quick check. Yep, so we're just waiting for the civilian to come in, just so we can take him out. There we go. Tie him up. So yeah, as you can see there's the proof that this is in fact overkill, as if the lead guard wasn't already proof of that. But yeah, I'm excited to see like all the different methods that people are gonna come up with for Payday 3 stealth in general. I don't know. It feels like there's a lot more. It feels like there's gonna be more, you know, different routes in the long run of Payday 3. Like Payday 2, it felt like a lot of the heists were just, you know, one path. But it feels like there's a lot more opportunity to mess around with Payday 3 stealth, and I'm excited to see what people do with it. Like, I've already had a lot of fun with just this beta heist, you know, tuning and refining my methods to make a perfect, you know, plan. So, once we're free, we're going to take the executive to here, and then as soon as he scans his thing, we're just going to take him back and put him with the rest. Just so he can join the others. An interesting mechanic in Payday 3. So whereas in Payday 2, when you run out of pagers and you use up another pager, the alarm goes off. In Payday 3, when you do that, instead of going immediately to alarm, the guards will go into search mode. Well, they'll basically break off from their usual routing and just they'll roam the level freely, basically. So they don't have set paths anymore, which gets dangerous because obviously they can discover a body that you hid. And then if you answer another pager, then the alarm will go off. You don't want to enter search mode. Search mode feels like a lost, ditch effort, because, it comes down to chance. You're basically in a time limit. It's not a matter of if they find a body, it's more of a matter of when they find a body. So we're going to try to stay out of search mode if we can. So once again, check the guard, and then run downstairs. Obviously, as you saw, all the civilians are dead, so there's no issues of hacking that. Now here, I like this. This is like a little puzzle, where basically you get 4 codes from the computer, and you have to cross-reference with the numpad, see which ones have fingerprints, cross-reference with your 4 available codes, and find which one fits. It's not a hard puzzle, but I like little puzzle elements like this in heisting. Adds another layer. I really liked the Payday 2 Crude Awakening pipe puzzle. That was fun, especially in loud. It was fun to do in loud. Right, yep. So right here, got really unlucky there. The die packs don't go off at the same time. Some of them are delayed. So I got really lucky there and unlucky there and started looking at one that was delayed, very delayed, but still managed to get 5, which is still pretty good. Would have liked to get 6, my highest record, but 5's alright. 5's pretty good. Once again, I'm going to make a cut here, just so you don't have to sit through all this lockpicking, because there's nothing fun about watching me lockpick for 3 minutes. Okay, so it turns out I actually misremembered what I did here. I didn't go for all lockpicks this time. I just went and got the documents, just to feel satisfied about getting it, just with the satisfaction of doing all the optional tasks too. And I do know why I didn't go for all of them, and that's going to be coming up soon. So it's probably a good time that I start talking about something. This was recorded on the last day of the beta, and not only was this recorded on the last day, this was recorded during the very last hour of the beta's access, which means I was on a time limit. I was on a crazy time limit during this, which is why there was a lot more stress in this than usual. I was a lot more panicking, because I was really fighting time here. So I didn't want to go for all bags. I was not going for all loot. I was just going to go for the bare minimum and leave once I had the bare minimum. So yeah, so this guard right here, we can't take him out because we've already used our 2 pagers up, which means we'll just have to wait for him and sneak around. There are 2 spawns that I know of for the van, one that's here in the car park and the one's out the front. Honestly, I don't know which one's better. They both don't seem too bad. I think this one's slightly better. Okay, I didn't even remember doing that. I did a cool flip of that cone there. I think this one is slightly better, slightly easier, less civilians to deal with, but the other one doesn't look like it'd be too bad either. So, yep, so that's 1 bag in, and now I'm going back for the second one. This part isn't too hard. I've got a micro camera set out there outside the door, just so I don't risk the chance of running into the guards as I'm coming out, just to be safe. So now I'm going in for my second bag, and I think you need 7 bags on overkill, so just need this and 5 more right after. And as if it was scripted, I kid you not, beta access ended. I kid you not. I was so disheartened. I'm not even kidding. This is not scripted. It sounds fake, I know, but it was not scripted. The beta access ended as I was moving the bags. I was so disheartened, but I'm not too bothered by it, because technically I did get a stealth off with the massless version. And yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I'm counting that as a success, because I wasn't gonna fail that. It was just moving back. As far as I'm concerned, success. And you know what? The game's gonna come out in a couple days anyway. I'm gonna get my chance to complete my stealth when the full game comes out. Okay, I'll be honest, there was a little bit of editing magic there. It didn't actually disconnect at that very moment. It disconnected like maybe 30 seconds after, but it was like it happened while I was while I was changing my OBS settings. I was like readjusting the camera, like capturing the game capture, and while I was doing it is when it disconnected. So I did have to like splice together the disconnect part and the end of the game, but it was at that part that disconnected, just slight difference in time. But yeah, you cannot make this up. This is why you should do these things earlier. But I'm not too mad by it, surprisingly. You know, I enjoyed my time with the beta. It's a fun beta, very fun beta. This has only amplified my hype for Payday 3. You know, I was already gonna pre-order it, even with all this stuff that came out about it and people being mad about certain things. I was always hyped, and this only made me more hyped for it. So, here's to Payday 3. This is the last Payday 3 beta video that I'm gonna be releasing. This is all the footage that I have, and yeah. If you made it up to here, thank you so much for watching. Hope my stealth gameplay was at least a little bit entertaining, or at least my commentary, either one. If those weren't entertaining, I don't know how you managed to sit through all this, but thank you anyway. And yeah, that's about all. I'll see you all next time, and I'll see you in a couple days when Payday 3, the full game, comes out. God, I'm excited. Alright, see ya.